about Tom Brady? How about Patrick Mahomes facing off on Sunday? Now, this is a huge matchup, America. The Chiefs somehow lost to the Colts last week. The Bucs, yes, they were limited, but they still lost to a limited Packers team last week. Now, Tampa is favored, but by only 1 point at home, according to Fox Bet Sportsbook. As I have seen the latest news, that game will still be played in Tampa. Thoughts and prayers going out to everyone, not just in that area, but also the entire Florida region as they deal with another tragic hurricane. Joy, coming to you. Both of these teams have grave question marks. Both of these teams have won Super Bowls in the last 3 years, of which Shady was a part of both. Crazy. We'll talk about that later.
Bling. Thanks, Pat and Tom, first of all.
But, Joy, which team has bigger question marks?
I think the Bucs do. Obviously, their defense is playing amazing. They're allowing 9 points per game this season, which has really kept them afloat when you look at how things have been going on the offensive side of the ball. They rank first in the NFL. So the defense is playing unbelievable. There are still some questions about how this offense is going to work. Now, granted, they were missing a lot of pieces. Obviously, Mike Evans isn't out there. So I think once they get healthy, we'll see the offense that we've seen in years past with the Bucs. I'm not doubting that they won't get it together. But right now, this is what it is. They're 22nd in points per game and 27th in total yards per game. Those are the numbers. What's kept them in these games is the defense. That game against Green Bay was basically unwatchable. The second half was unbearable. So, and now they did obviously make a drive at the end because that's what Tom Brady does. But right now, this is about the Bucs. I have fewer questions about what the Chiefs are capable of because I've seen them and what their offense is able to do. The defense is holding it down right now. I got to see the Bucs offense produce more.
Shady, I joked, but let me not for a second underestimate or understate the fact that you were literally a part of a Super Bowl with the Bucs. Then next year, a Super Bowl with the Chiefs. Wild.
Other way around, but same thing. Same result.
Either way, you got your rings.
Yeah.
You've been a part of the pinnacle of success with both of those teams,
right.
And clearly they are not the same offenses. I will not say that is because of Shady's absence, but it probably has something to do with it. Either way, they're not the same offenses. Which team gives you the bigger question marks, Chiefs or Bucs?
I'm going to say Chiefs, and the reason why, like Joey just talked about the numbers for the Bucs, right? Now, let's think about this. A Tom Brady team, and the worst part is the offense, right? That's a good thing, because this is my thing is, once they get those pieces back, Chris Godwin, right? Mike Evans, Julio Jones, and then a guy like Cole Beasley, who just got there. Imagine him getting a couple weeks under his belt, learning the offense. They're going to be rolling. Where the Chiefs, they don't really scare nobody no more, right? I mean, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes, and Tyreek Hill's gone, but you got Travis Kelce, he's still there. The Colts put their best cornerback. Their best cornerback on Travis Kelce. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. So my thing is, when you look at all the wide receivers, after the Chiefs being a dominant, scary offense, I don't see it, and that's the question mark. How can you guys play that dominant football like you did when you had Tyreek Hill?
It's really interesting because we think we have different opinions for the same reason. Like, I think it's the Bucs. I think the Bucs have more question marks because of what they don't have right now and what they're bringing back. Like, you didn't have Mike Evans for a game. Chris Godwin's still dealing with his injury. Julio Jones has been banged up. The offensive line is a whole different matter. Donovan Smith has been out way before any of this happened. All the way back in August, you lost a Pro Bowl center in Ryan Jensen. You got a lot of moving parts, a lot of stuff to figure out. And what's the most important thing when it comes to chemistry? Time on task, right? The Chiefs have all of these guys. They're getting to practice together. They're getting 3 days a week for Patrick Mahomes to learn these new receivers, to work with the running backs on the offensive line. The Bucs just don't have that right now. I think they will be fine in time, but that's a multi-week process of getting comfortable with everybody, whereas the Chiefs can go out to the practice field and work with all the guys they need to work with. I think that makes me feel better about where they're at right now.
It's so interesting because we all have similar thoughts but different conclusions. I think the Chiefs have questions that have no answers, rhetorical questions, if you will. The Bucs have questions, but at least we can get their answers.
Healthy.
Right? Like, if the Bucs can get healthy, right. Mike Evans comes back, Chris Godwin comes back. At the left tackle, Donovan Smith, I believe he's coming back.
They're all practicing to some degree.
If he can come back, those questions have answers. But with the Chiefs, I always am reminiscent of this. Tyreek Hill is gone. But if Tyreek Hill didn't exist, Patrick Mahomes would be different in the sense that, like, I don't know if y'all would have won that Super Bowl. You know better than I, but it was 3rd and 15. Tyreek Hill had to run a post-corner route in order for y'all to win that game. there is no more Tyreek Hill. So that question that the Chiefs have, and it really is just one question, what y'all gonna do to replace Tyreek Hill, I don't think it has an answer. Like, Joy, I think about this. The Cowboys lost Amari Cooper, and we said to ourselves, man, this Cowboys offense taking a hit.
Right.
Packers lost Devontae Adams. We said to ourselves, man, this Packers offense taking a hit.
Right.
The Cardinals lost DeAndre Hopkins. Man, this Cardinals offense taking a hit. But the Chiefs have lost Tyreek Hill, and for whatever reason, call it Patrick Mahomes, but the Packers still have Aaron Rodgers, so I don't even know if we can call it Patrick Mahomes. They lost Tyreek Hill, and we're just kind of like, they should be all right. I'm just thinking, isn't there a bigger dilemma in Kansas City than we might be giving them credit for?
Well, let's look at those other situations. First of all, I don't think that we're saying they're going to be all right. I think we all had questions about what this offense was going to look like without Tyreek Hill. What's the difference between Kansas City and the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers? Well, the Dallas Cowboys and the Green Bay Packers ended their season the exact same way last year, so they have that in common. Andy Reid is still in Kansas City.
Quarterback.
Travis Kelce.
Don't forget that.
And Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, and Patrick Mahomes, of course. But I'm saying, like, they all have their franchise quarterback. Yes, obviously Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes is on a different level than Dak, but they all have their franchise quarterback, right?
Yeah.
They all had functioning offenses last year. So, yes, they all lost big pieces. How are they going to look? Well, when you look at Kansas City in contrast to those other two teams, Kansas City has postseason success. And they did last year. Obviously, they didn't go as far as they wanted to. They have postseason success. Andy Reid is still there. Travis Kelce is still there, amongst a bunch of other pieces as well. So when I worry about how explosive they're going to be, that's my concern. It's not whether or not they're still going to be able to put up points, because they are. They put up 44 against the Cardinals, 27 against the Chargers. And the Colts loss was obviously bad, but it was mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. If you're just a functioning team, which the Colts were, they just stayed alive. They won the game. If they didn't get that ridiculous penalty on Chris Jones, they still would have lost. So I think you have to have the perspective of, while they lost the explosive element of Tyreek Hill, they are still a good offense.
I just want to say this real quick, because she made a great point. The only thing is with that offense being explosive, that's what Andy Reid's been his whole career. All about explosion, speed and explosion. And when I watch him, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. I don't see them deep posts. I don't see them goal balls. I don't see it at all. Some of the games that I did watch, even with Chargers game, was like field position is a lot different than normal, right? But as far as making plays,
Let me ask you this. When will it, because you make a great point, Andy Reid, and you have to educate me prior to 09.
Okay, let's do it.
But there was Deshaun Jackson. Then there was Jeremy Maclin. Then there was LeSean McCoy.
Right.
Then there was Andy Reid.
it was never a Patrick Mahomes, but I get what you're going.
But, like, he had explosive weapons. When will it hurt the Chiefs? Because to Joy's point, it didn't hurt them week 1 when they put up 50 against the Cardinals. Yeah. It didn't really hurt them week 2 when they put up 27 against the Chargers.
It's 44 and 27.
When's it going to catch up to them?
I just think from watching that team play and being there, and when I see them go against different opponents, like, teams they're scared of the Chiefs offense, right? You see a safety 30, 35 yards deep. I've never seen nothing like that. So now when I watch teams put their best cornerback on the tight end, it's like, hold on, something don't look right here. So going forward, I just think playing with better competition teams, I don't see them guys put up them type of points.
But wouldn't this game be a great
gauge
for that?
It would be.
Going up against the team that is allowing the fewest points per game, the defense allowing the fewest points per game.
I just think,
because Tyreek Hill tore us up when we played him in the regular season before we won the championship. He tore us up. Whatever the numbers are, Andy, but he was going crazy.
I just think you have to get comfortable with the idea that the Chiefs are going to look different this year. And yeah, they're not as explosive. They can still be really efficient. 44 points. I believe Pat threw 5 touchdowns to like 5 different receivers.
He's playing perfect right now.
He's Patrick Mahomes. I have faith in a quarterback of that caliber at the end of the day. There's weapons there. It's not as good as Tyreek Hill. They still have Travis Kelce, my dude. Come on.
But that's the problem.
And that's it. I watched Juju get strapped up. Y'all seen this. Juju got strapped up crazy. Scanlon got strapped up crazy. Hardman is the gadget guy.
As time goes on, don't you have faith in Patrick Mahomes to elevate those guys? That's why he's Patrick Mahomes.
Let me ask you this, because this is a question I have. Not even a question. Shady, let me come to you. Eventually, you're going to need dudes.
Yes.
Like we saw last year in the playoffs, Stephon Diggs was a dude. Then Gabriel Davis for the Bills became a dude. Jamar Chase was a dude.
He's a dude.
On the NFC East, Deebo Samuel against the Cowboys. That was the reason that the Niners won the game.
Right.
Deebo on that handoff stretch right, dude. Eventually, you need dudes to make plays.
You're right.
How far can the Chiefs go in your mind without a dude outside of Kelsey? And even Kelsey, he's not as explosive anymore. So how far can the Chiefs go without just a bona fide dude? Can they still go all the way?
See, that's my question. I don't see them going all the way because of that. Them reasons. Like, playoff time is game time, right? Win or go home. And I don't see having no other weapons. Once you take away Kelsey, you're dependent on Juju Schuster.
Smith.
Give me,
Or, I mean, him.
Give me till January.
The guy that had no catches, that
like,
guy.
And I get it. Tyreek Hill was part of those teams, but the Chiefs have been there every year since 2018. I'm not ready to, in September, say they don't have it anymore.
Dave, let me come to you,
I'm
though.
not doing that.
Let me do this, because you are a NFL historian. When you think back of previous Super Bowl champions, wouldn't you say that the Chiefs might have the least explosive or talented offensive skill player if they were to go that far? Because last year I think about the Rams, they had Cooper Kupp. The year before I think about the Bucs, they had Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, etc. The year before, and I might be out of order, I think about the Chiefs, they had Tyreek Hill. The year before you go back to the Patriots, you have Gronk, etc., etc. Right. Don't you think that if the Chiefs were to do it, they would be doing something we at least haven't seen done in a mighty long time? Or, no.
I mean, Gronk, Travis Kelce.
Yeah, like, I think y'all are kind of shoveling some dirt on Travis Kelce's grave.
No.
Okay.
I mean, but they
at the very least admit
I would never.
2017, 2018, 2016 Gronk
is equal to this, Travis?
Is equal to what Travis Kelce's giving. I think that's probably fair, right?
Yeah, Gronk is obviously a Hall of Famer.
You have an All-Pro Hall of Fame caliber tight end, and you've got the best quarterback in football, who has.
And you have Andy Reid.
Yeah, and you also have Andy Reid.
And to y'all, that's enough.
Well,
I'm not saying they're going to. I mean, I picked him to win the Super Bowl. I did. I did pick him to win. I don't care. I do not care about the Chiefs' special teams and a dumb penalty by Chris Jones costing them one game in September. Talk to me in December.
That penalty was weak anyway.
It was so weak.
When I watch the play, I don't see anybody else getting open. That's what scares me. With the Chiefs, you get a lot of separation. I've never seen a team from wide receivers and D-backs get so much separation.
As the Chiefs.
But
if there's I'm with you. I agree. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you that Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Juju Smith-Schuster have been amazing. I'm not trying to, I hate to say it about my LSU guy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire hasn't lived up to the hype of a first round.
He's no good. I like him.
No, he's solid. I don't think you can't say he's lived up to the hype. Yeah. But, you have all season to rectify that. Like, teams get better as seasons go along. That's the whole point. And B, if you got receivers who can't separate, Patrick Mahomes, like, isn't that why you pay a Patrick Mahomes?
I guess the question, if Travis Kelce is the Gronk,
if he's double,
well, the question is who's going to be the Edelman?
That's my
right. That's kind of
if he's double team, who else will get the ball?
We don't know the answer to that right now.
We don't know yet.
Andy, you better save him. Patrick Mahomes, you better save him.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.